So in this lesson, we're going to talk about conversion windows. Mainly I want to talk about this as I know if you're coming over from Facebook ads, there's a lot of conversation about conversion windows, 7-day this, 1-day that. And there's probably a lot of confusion around how to do it. Honestly, like a lot of people have a lot of different ways that they do it. So there's no exact do it this way. What I would say is if you're just starting out, most of you guys are gonna do it the way that I showed you, right? So as you can see here on the screen, we have 30 days as a click-through conversion window, and then we have 1 week as a view-through conversion window. So some of you may know what I'm talking about, most of you might not. So just real quick, if you do the drop down here, and this is actually a conversion action that we have set up, Google will give you more information about what this means, right? But a click-through conversion window, that just means if someone actually clicks your ad. So it tells you, example, say your window is 30 days, if someone click your ad, then make a purchase 29 days later, is going to be counted, right? If that number was less than that, it would be, if it was say a week, then if they converted 8 days out, then you wouldn't get that data back into into the system because that conversion happened outside of the window that you set. I recommend 30 days, as if you're just starting, I recommend just stick with 30 days, right? The view through, on the other hand, is more of a impression-based strategy of someone saw my ad, whether they click it or not. If they saw your ad and then they ended up converting at some point, then you would see that data show up in what's called the view through conversion tab, that if you go to your columns, you can actually modify your column to show that data as well if you want to. But most of you probably don't even need to worry about that unless you're a bit more intermediate to advanced. You want to be worrying about that as you really scale. But that's really the difference between click through and view through. Someone can see your ad and never click it or interact, and then end up converting, especially with YouTube ads, because a lot of times people will see your ad, they won't click on it, but they'll go to YouTube and search you, they'll go to Amazon and search you, they'll go to Google and search you, and they can still end up in your funnel, and we can still track the fact that they saw our ad and converted. So it has a lot of value, but if someone actually clicked the ad and convert, then they would be considered a click-through conversion. So you're just setting your conversion windows based on these actions. Again, if your main thing, if you're kind of early stage in this game, 30 days for click through, 1 week for view through is going to be for most of you. Now, if you are a bit more intermediate to advanced, I would recommend whatever you're doing on Facebook to do the same setup on Google. So you just need to know, you should know what your click through and view through windows are with your Facebook. You would just do this at the conversion action setting, right? You would, based on your conversion action setup, you would just modify these conversion windows based on exactly what you're already doing on Facebook. So that's basically what I recommend when it comes to conversion windows, because I think, again, there's a lot of times people kind of get tripped up or, all of this kind of conversation on it. Just keep it simple. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, do it the way that I showed you how to set it up. If you have Facebook ads running already, I recommend, because you're already making decisions that way with your Facebook ads, just carry that over to Google so that when you're doing your conversion actions, that's where you would make those settings. So to reiterate, action item, if you're just starting out, you don't really understand a conversion window, stick to the way that I showed you on how to set that up. If you're Facebook and you're porting over, go evaluate what you're doing for Facebook and then modify your conversion actions inside your Google Ads account to mirror that, so that you're already training yourself on making decisions based on these conversion windows. It'll make it way easier to do the exact same thing on Google because you already have trained yourself on how to make these decisions. So go and do that.